It's so interesting. What a wonderful musician. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, that just makes me... Kia ora and welcome. My name is ZoeStibi and today I'm your vocal coach because we are going to be taking a look at Laura Thorn with, oh God, my French is horrific. La Poupée Monte. I failed French at university, so we won't say anything about that. From Luxembourg at Eurovision. She can definitely sing better than I can speak French, so let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique.
Oublie-moi, je ne suis pas ta marionnette. C'est comme ça, ton petit manège s'arrête. Si tu crois qu'un homme comme toi me manipule, retourne chez maman, vaut mieux tu capitules.
How do these people think of these things? This is so, like, it's so interesting and beautiful, and like, this is just making me think, wow, I need to try harder in the world. Let's just watch that again because I'm just like, it's so interesting. What a wonderful musician.
Tu ne vois en moi qu'une poupée parfaite qui sourit et puis se tait quand tu le souhaites. Oublie-moi, je ne suis pas ta marionnette. C'est comme ça, ton petit manège s'arrête. Si tu crois que
that could actually be like a vocal warm-up, couldn't we? We've got very much a spoken on pitch kind of sound, but we're doodling around that chest voice register from the D4 to the A4, but she's keeping the microphone very, very close to her mouth, which is telling us that she's singing relatively quiet, which is very, very, well, it's a good idea when you're trying to stay and in this voice quality and take your chest voice up high. I'll tell you why in a bit.
c'est comme ça, ton petit manège s'arrête. Si tu crois qu'un homme comme toi me manipule, retourne chez maman, vaut mieux tu capitules. Ou sinon c'est moi qui te désarticule. Prends garde à toi, car je prends les manettes. Nouveau mode d'emploi, je peux tout faire sans toi. C'est un autre schéma, une autre époque. Je donne de la voix, alors surtout joue pas.
Oh my goodness me, I'm already liking this song. I am not going to pretend like I am an expert in singing in the French language. So all of those fantastic things about articulation things, that's something that you would need to check out with someone who was a French native speaker. But we've got this, you can see here that Laura's got this beautiful, very relaxed jaw. And that's what we're looking for, especially when we're in this chest voice sound, because too much jaw tension, which is what I see a lot of the time in singers, is going to cause us to then tense up the sound as well. Okay, when we did notice that the sound went a little bit out of tune there, but that could be due to so many different things. So we're not going to comment on it other than the fact that she's a human. And that's why I love looking at live performances, because we don't need to write home about one or two bung notes in a performance. We are da 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 da. In that section where she did go a little bit out of tune, we noticed that there was an increase in the thyroid tilt there. It started to sound a little bit more sung. Not to have a look at the note, we're going to go back on that because I want you to listen to the fact that that does sort of has this kind of cut where it starts to sound more like singing. So you can hear that like definite more sung sound. That thyroid tilt is what's doing it, and that's important if we're going to, firstly, if we want to, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but if we're going to go further up in the range, but also if we're going to, you know, build the song that's going to help us as well. And then we're hearing it again, like a da 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 da. We're hearing even more thyroid tilt there, a little bit of lowering, which is darkening the sound. We're up actually on the B flat for the ba da 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 da. So that actually is usually around the passaggio area. So where a lot of female chest voices want to swap into the head voice there. So sometimes we have to work a little bit at keeping the vocal folds closed as we're going that high.
Si tu me pensais fragile en porcelaine, ou plus maléa du genre polyéthylène, je ne suis pas comme ça, j'ai besoin d'oxygène. M'en veux pas, un nouveau monde m'appelle. Si tu comptais m'exposer dans.
So we're hearing da 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 da. She's trying to add a little bit more volume in there, and we're hearing again. I am not poo-pooing Laura. I just want you to be aware of this little bit of kind of, I don't want to say crackle, but you can hear a definite like tiredness to the voice. These performers have an insane schedule before Eurovision. It's almost criminal how much they have to perform, how many interviews they have to do. It is just unrelenting for even the 2 weeks beforehand, and then they've been touring to really get their song out there, and then you climax after this insane amount of work. So it's not it's no wonder that her voice is sounding a little bit tired as she's trying to beef up the volume there. Very, very typical that because the vocal folds will be a little bit swollen, when we try and get more pressure on them to add that volume, that's when we're hearing this little bit of tiredness. Wow. Like Laura, holy shit. There are so many lyrics in this song, and it's no wonder that she's starting to run out of breath a little bit. It's much, much harder when we've got lots and lots of words to say, because consonants are what they are using a lot of air to be created. So when we've got lots and lots of words, we're using more air than if we were to just sit on these really long held notes. So that's why she's starting to sound there's a little bit out of breath there. So beautiful though. She's keeping it cool, calm and collected. Very, very, very steady sound. You can tell that she had a lot of training.
Chez toi, l'électrochoc, la poupée non plus. Son, la 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 la, retiens bien la leçon. La 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 la, la poupée non plus. Son, la 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 la, méfie-toi mon garçon. La 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 la, la poupée non plus. Son.
Okay, before we get into this dance break, it's ba da 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 da. This is in a very similar vocal quality here. We're still in the chest voice. She hasn't really gotten a little bit much louder, but you can hear now that the sound is a little bit more stable. And that's because I really do think that she's backed off the volume, because we've got the other vocalists singing the chorus with her. And so therefore she doesn't really need to sing quite as much, and she's sort of blending a little bit. And I do really think because she's just probably backed off that vocal fold closure a little bit there. But I mean, look, honestly, that's a little bit of a guess, to be honest, because I'm not a nobody, right?
Ta poupée comme tu l'appelles, fais monter les décibels. Elle écoute une nouvelle génération. C'est chimique, on est plastique, dans ses caractéristiques. Ta poupée mène la musique, elle monte le son. La
so cool. I'm so happy for her as well, because this is just showing like her whole voice, like what everything that she can do. And you know, you have to think about these Eurovision performances are a tiny bit of an audition as well. Like you really do want to show like the best of what you can do, because you're trying to also get people into your world to like come to your shows. It's a perfect opportunity for that. Let's just go back on that, because I was just quite shocked.
Ta poupée comme tu l'appelles, fais monter les décibels. Elle est l'écho d'une nouvelle génération. C'est silicone et plastique.
You can really hear those. This is like a very well-trained singer. Da, 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 da. She's just dropped the larynx there a little bit. And to really beef up that sound, we sometimes want to add a little bit more weight to the tongue root. So we're adding on da, 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 da. We're adding a little bit of sound, you know, it's not constriction. We're adding a little bit of tongue tension there. That's the word I was looking for. Tongue tension in order to beef up that vocal fold, like beef up that chest voice sound.
Caractéristique, ta poupée met la musique. Elle monte le son.
Love this. Perfect. You know, look, we'll never know if that's what Laura's actually doing, but when you've got, oh, you can see she's gone into more of an more of that trumpet shaped sound. Helps us to facilitate that chest voice sound further. We're up on the D5 there. So that, look, whenever I say like whether it's high or not high or anything like that, I'm talking about like a standard female chest voice register. This would be high in the standard female chest voice register, but in the trained singers, so, you know, a standard female voice register is totally different to when you've had like 10 plus years of vocal training. Then the D5 will not be particularly high, because when you just get into vocal training, this isn't, you know, the sky's really the limit, to be honest. But we're up there. Oh, lovely wide open arms. That's helping to stabilize the sound through those larger muscles in the back.
Elle monte le son.
And we can hear like absolutely no trace of fatigue there whatsoever. It's because when we're in these lovely long held notes, thicker vocal folds, much easier for us to close them than it is when we're doing lots and lots of, you know, when we're changing all of those consonants. Well, when we're saying lots and lots of words, basically.
Thank you so much. Thank you to my team, and thank you to all the people working behind the stage. Thank you.
Oh, that just makes me, I don't know why that makes me so emotional, and I just makes me feel so happy for people like Laura who, you know, this means so much to a lot of us. You have to understand that, like, to have this opportunity to perform in front of so many people, like, and especially your own music as well, like, it's just, I just can only feel for them, because I know how I would feel in that situation. It'd just be like so exciting. We hear that chest voice sound. We didn't see very wide mouth shapes there, and that's because when we're up there in the chest voice quality, we're wanting to make sure that we're keeping this jaw, which is what she did at the beginning and like throughout the song. Beautiful training here, wanting to make sure that we're not tensing through the jaw. And that's going to make the sound a touch darker as well. If we're going then that tends to cause a lot of tension in the back of the throat, but it also tends to make the sound like, it just makes it a little bit metallic. It really depends on what you're going for, to be honest. That's an artistic decision that you would need to make, but a lot of people don't prefer that sound. So try releasing that jaw there. But again, and it's something that needs to be looked at a little bit more individually. Well done. Oh my goodness me. Laura. I'm so excited for you. Can't wait to check out more of her music. Check out some more Eurovision up here. And I have a huge favor to ask for you. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I really, really, really want to reach 1 million subscribers in 2025. I know it's a huge ask, but I know we can get there. And if I manage to hit the 1 million, I'm going to release my 10-week Find Your Chest Voice entire signature course for free here on YouTube. So let's hit 1 million. It really does help me to help more people like yourself here on YouTube with their vocal technique. Like, you've no idea how much it helps me. And I'm obsessed with this. So I love it. Have an awesome rest of the day. Just remember, you're amazing. You can do it. Anyone can learn to sing. Ka kite anō.